So we'll do another problem now related to final accounts. Yesterday we did the first example, which was the simplest one amongst the lot. Did you solve the question again? Did you get the feel of it now, how the final accounts are prepared, etc.? Okay. Let me come to the next question then. From the following trial balance of Kalyani, you're required to prepare a trading and profit loss account for the year ended 31st March of 2018 and balance sheet as on that date. Capital is given, drawings are given, stock on 1st April 2017. Octroi duty, that is nothing but a kind of freight or carriage inward. Earlier used to be the octroi duty. जब भी कोई सिटी में स्टॉक आता था तो उस पे हमको ड्यूटी पे करनी पड़ती थी, which used to go to the local bodies, जिसे बाद में LBT के नाम से जाना गया, that is local body taxes, but now that concept is gone. As GST is there, so every of those concepts have been removed now. Purchases and sales, returns. Now return given on the debit side is return inward and return given on the credit side is return outward. So debit side return is return sales return and credit side is purchase return. Salaries, carriage outward. Outward means for the sale, goods sold and dispatch expenses. Wages, insurance, discount received, postage, debtors and creditors, furniture, cash in hand, machinery, rent and taxes, printing and stationery, bank overdraft. The closing stock was valued at cost rupees 40,000 while its market price was 45,000. We need not worry about 45,000. We have to do the valuation at cost or NRV, whichever is less. In this case, cost is lesser, so we'll be considering the closing stock at 40,000. Is the point right? Depreciate machinery at 5% per annum. Salary of rupees 2,000 and wages of 1,000 were outstanding. So these are outstanding expenses which will be added to the respective expenses in the trading and profit loss account and will be shown in the balance sheet as a liability. Yes or no? Insurance 500 was prepaid. So it will be subtracted from the insurance expense in the P&L account and will be shown in the balance sheet onto the asset side. Correct? Okay. So let's start with that then. Let's prepare the formats first. We are talking about question number 2. What is that page number? 8. We need the format related to trading account. We need the format related to profit and loss account. I thought you must have prepared this already. Have you prepared or not? Because today we have to solve it together. And we need a format for balance sheet as well. All right. Shall I start? I said our procedure is what? We have to first go through the adjustments. Then we'll go to the items of trial balance. Then we'll close the trading account, then the profit and loss account, then the balance sheet. All right. So let's come on to the very first adjustment, which was given to us as closing stock was valued at rupees 40,000 at cost and market price is 45,000. In such case, we are supposed to do the valuation considering 40,000 and not 45,000. Correct. Therefore, trading account onto the credit side, by closing stock in the outer amount column directly 40,000, and at the same time this is our asset or not, and therefore it will appear in the balance sheet onto the asset side as stock in trade or closing stock, whichever way you write, there is no problem. Rupees 40,000. Am I right? The next one, next adjustment is depreciate machinery at 5%. Now in our trial balance, we are given the plant and machinery at 80,000. Against that, we have to charge the depreciation of 5% or not? मशीनरी 80,000 दिया हुआ है ना, इसी के अगेंस्ट हमको 5% का डिप्रिसिएशन चार्ज करना है. सो इन द बैलेंस शीट ऑन टू द एसेट साइड, व्हाट? मशीनरी into the inner amount column 80,000 less depreciation at 5%, that is 4,000. So outer amount column will be 76,000. Correct? And then this being our expense, depreciation being our expense, therefore it will appear where? In the profit and loss account as well. To depreciation on machinery directly to the outermost column 4,000. Am I right? Adjustment सही जा रही है नहीं? Next, salary of 2,000 and wages of 1,000 were outstanding. Now salaries is an indirect expense and wages is a direct expense. Therefore wages will be presented in the trading account, whereas salaries will be presented into the profit and loss account or not. Salaries which are already given in the trial balance are 10,000 and similarly wages are rupees 14,000. So first we'll go into the P&L account. On to the debit side, to salaries, inner amount column 10,000, add outstanding rupees 2,000. So into the outer amount column will be 12,000. Correct. And at the same time, into the trading account debit side, to wages, in the inner amount column 14,000, add outstanding rupees 1,000, and so to the outer amount column will be 15,000. Is it right? But this is completion of only one effect or not? These two amounts, that 2,000 and 1,000, is still payable. Therefore, it will appear in our balance sheet onto the liabilities side. Correct? So in the balance sheet onto the liabilities side, outstanding salary rupees 2,000 in the inner amount column, wages rupees 1,000, and total to the outer amount column 3,000. You can write it separately also, there is no problem. Am I right? Yeah. The next adjustment is Insurance rupees 500 was prepaid, reverse of outstanding, paid in advance. The insurance which is already given to us in the trial balance is 2000. उसमें से 500 रुपया paid in advance है. Means the remaining 1500 is the expense of current year or not? Yes or no? So in the P&L account on to the debit side, to insurance inner amount column 2000 less prepaid. How much is prepaid? 500. Outer amount column 1500. The prepaid insurance expense is the amount against which the benefit is still receivable or not, and therefore that becomes our asset. So it will appear in the balance sheet onto the asset side as well as prepaid insurance rupees 500. Am I going good? So all the adjustments related to the additional information are done. Now we need to go back to the items in trial balance or not. The very first item is capital and then drawings. These two will appear onto the liability side. So in the balance sheet onto the liability side, inner amount column, capital rupees 90,000 less drawings, because drawings at the end of the year need to be adjusted against capital only. Rupees 3,000. So subtotal thereof, the balancing figure thereof in the inner amount column itself, because we have to still adjust the profit or loss of the business. Yes or no? Next, stock on 1st April 2017. This is nothing but our opening stock. The opening stock appears where? Into the trading account debit side. So trading account on to the debit side, to opening stock rupees 45,000. Correct. At the same time, I said octroi duty is also a direct expense only. So into the trading account debit side itself, to octroi duty. आजकल के क्वेश्चंस में आपको ये नहीं मिलेगा, because now that octroi duty is concept is gone. Rupees 800. Next, purchases and sales. Purchase are 2 lakh, sales is 3,12,000. So into the trading account debit side, to purchases inner amount column 2 lakh. क्यों inner amount column? Because there is a return of 6,000. And at the same time, onto the credit side, by sales 3,12,000 in the inner amount column. Now purchase returns amounted to rupees 2,000 and sales returns amounted to rupees 6,000 or not, as per the items given in the trial balance. Therefore, less returns rupees 2,000 in the case of purchases. 1,98,000 comes into the outer amount column. Less returns rupees 6,000 related to sales. So 3,06,000 comes into the outer amount column. Am I right? Next, salaries we are already done with, because we had the adjustment on that. Yes or no? Carriage outward is our indirect expense or not? So carriage outward will go to the P&L account debit side. यही carriage inward होता या सिर्फ carriage दिया होता, so I would have presumed that as carriage inward and would have been shown in the trading account. To carriage outward, what is the amount for that? 1400. Next, wages we are done, insurance already completed. Discount received is an indirect income or not? जैसे discount allowed is an indirect expense, उसी तरह से discount received is also an indirect income. So that will appear in the profit and loss account onto the credit side. I'm keeping the space blank for the gross profit to be brought down. So by discount received, only a presentation matter. ऊपर नीचे हुआ तो उससे कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ता है, but presentation wise, you have to show the gross profit first. Rupees 600. Postage is an indirect expense. Therefore, P&L account debit side to postage. आजकल तो मेलेज हो गया है, अभी वो पोस्टेज चला गया. आजकल हम हर चीज ईमेल करते हैं ना, पोस्ट कहाँ करते हैं. So nowadays you have mailage. Earlier it was postage. And when you were small, at that time you were having cartage. No? मराठी में बच्चों को बोलते हैं ना कार्ट्या. सो तुम्हारी बचपन की एज मतलब कार्टेज हुई ना, कार्टेज. अब अंग्रेजों के पास आइस एज हो सकती है तो हमारे पास कार्टेज क्यों नहीं हो सकती? वो लोग आइस एज के वर्जन बनाते जा रहे हैं, आइस एज 1 2 3. हम लोगों के पास कार्टेज के कितने वर्जन हैं सोचो. Isn't it? बोलते हैं ना मराठी में कार्टे ही बोलते हैं ना छोटे बच्चों को. कार्ट्या, तुमची कार्टी लई त्रास देती हो. वेल एनीवेज, हाँ करेक्ट. सो पोस्टेज 800 रुपीज हो गया, नहीं हुआ अब तक के. Debtors and creditors, there is no adjustment given on that, so it will appear as such. Debtors onto the asset side and creditors onto the liability side. Amounts are 60,000 and 64,000 respectively. Debtors 60,000 and creditors 64,000. Is it right? Then furniture, there is no adjustment given on that as well, so it will appear as such. बहुत बोर हो रहा है क्या ये प्रॉब्लम? सर ऐसी चिल्लर चीजें करने का ना हमारा मन ही नहीं करता है. कुछ तो इंटरेस्टिंग होना चाहिए ना, कुछ तो एक्साइटिंग होना चाहिए. क्या टाइम पास करवा रहे हैं आप? ये तो हम ऐसे बाएं हाथ से कर लेंगे. इतने चिल्लर प्रॉब्लम बता रहे हो आप. कल तक के पता नहीं था फाइनल अकाउंट क्या होते हैं और आज अचानक सबके लिए चिल्लर प्रॉब्लम हो गए. Isn't it? Then cash in hand. कैश इन हैंड मतलब लिटरली ऐसा हाथ में लेके घूमते वैसा नहीं है. दिस कैश विल ऑलवेज रिमेन इन हैंड वैसा वाला नहीं. वो पसीना आके खराब हो जाएगा नहीं तो. कैश कंटिन्यूस अगर हाथ में रहा तो पसीना आता है ना. 10,000. Machinery we have already done. Yes or no? Rent and taxes, printing and stationery, both are our expenses. And rent and printing both are considered as indirect expenses. Therefore, P&L account debit side to rent and taxes. Here the taxes means the property tax, etc. Rupees 6,000 and 2 printing and stationery 2,000. Am I right? And then finally comes the bank overdraft. Now, bank overdraft is your liability. You have withdrawn the money more than what you have deposited with the bank. And therefore, it will come in the balance sheet onto the liability side. Is it right? Now, what remains is we have to first close the trading account, then the profit and loss account, and then the balance sheet. Am I right? To gross profit is how much? That comes to 87,200 as the balancing figure. That will be brought down to P&L account by gross profit brought down 87,200 60,100. Net profit will be carried forward to what? To capital. Am I right? Is the balance sheet total tallying for you people? Is it understood by you people? It hardly takes 20-25 minutes to complete one question related to final account. But the only thing that I would suggest is that you have to do it with the system. You have to do it properly. Because if you don't do it with the system, if you don't follow the correct procedure, then in that case, it may so happen that your balance sheet total will not tally. और फिर वो उसके पीछे हम लोग दिमाग खराब होते रहता है हमारा कि वो कहाँ गया, क्यों अमाउंट मिस हुआ, because you have not placed the correct amounts with the correct places, you have not given the two effects of the transaction. There you will generally be finding the problems. All right. Okay. The third question includes RDD. In fact, all the questions afterwards will include the RDD. I have to first talk about this concept of RDD, and then and only then we'll be doing the further problems. So for now, we'll stop by and we'll continue in our next lecture. That will be tomorrow. Tomorrow, whether we'll be taking in the morning or afternoon, in evening, I'll be informing you about that. So I'll stop by here itself. You just revise through these problems, what we just did. There, you can do one thing is, yeah, from this textbook, from the sheet that I have shared with you people, you try solving question number 16, question number 17. Question number 16, there is no adjustment given at all. And question number 17, there are limited adjustments. So 16 and 17, you solve it. All right. 16 and 17th question is what you have to solve. We'll meet tomorrow. Thank you for now.